Hi, in this video we're going to look at how we can modify and change the look of the content that is in our courses. So I'm using the Grade 8 Religion course as an example, and I'm going to turn the editing on so I can have access to the stuff that the students can see. And we're going to scroll down to the activity we want. So I'm using the icons in the editing menu. I want to edit the settings of that page. And thankfully, this menu looks the same in all of the activities and resources. So if you're using assignment or setting up a page or using a book, they all have the same icon. So here's the title and the description of the page, and here is the page content. First thing you're going to need to do is expand that menu to show all the buttons that you have at your disposal. And some of the common things you might want to do in this area. So we're just going to go through the buttons that you're most likely going to use. Some of these other buttons are more for specific courses or very specific uses. You might not need to use them. But this first one, changing the text size, color, boldness, etc. If you've ever done any type of word processing, these buttons will probably look the same. This button right here changes the selected text into a heading or into something that is pre-formatted already. I usually don't use this one, but I can change it to bold or italics. I can underline the text, or I can strike through the text so it crosses it off. I can add in subscripts or superscripts if you need something like that. I can also change the font itself. If I would like to change this boldness, for example, to a different color, maybe I want it to show up in blue. This is the font colors. The text size, there we go. I want that text size to be extra, extra, extra large. And maybe I want the color behind that text size, the background color, to be red. There we go. Oops, I missed the letter C. That's okay. So all of these types of things will help you to change how your text looks. The next thing I might want to do is put all of these items into a list, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. I can choose a bulleted list. They call it an unordered list in this menu, or I can put it as steps. Maybe you want them to follow a certain order. I can add or remove a hyperlink to text or to a photo or a video if I want the students to be able to click on it and go to another web page. I would highlight, if it was a text, I would highlight and I would use this chain and I would enter in the address that I want it to go to. I personally always check this open in a new window because I want it to be able to open up in a new window just in case you accidentally hit the X button, you don't lose everything you have. Create the link and you should see that it shows up as underlined now. I don't want it there. Oops, I highlight the line and I use the break the chain and I break that link and it's no longer there. If I would like to add a photo under a picture, I choose the photo image here. And the photo and the media gallery do the same thing. You're going to browse. You can either go on the server if you've already uploaded a photo that you've used before, you want to use it again. You can go into the server files that are saved in Moodle, or you can upload a file, and I'm just going to browse to find one. Oh, there's one. I like this picture of a bird. I'm going to open it up, and the title of it shows right there, so I upload it. Depending on how big your file is, this might take a few seconds for the whole image or video to upload. Now, this box, if you want to put a description in, just in case somebody isn't able to read it. Now, all I did is I added a photo, put a description. Look how big that is. Wow, that's too big. I don't want it that big. I would double click and I could scale it down to, let's say, 350. If this box is checked off, it automatically keeps the dimensions that you want. You can uncheck this box. Maybe you want to stretch the photo out for whatever reason. If you don't put a description here, this box needs to be checked off. There it is. There's the photo. If I wanted to add a hyperlink to that photo like we just learned, I would just go over top of the photo like that, and I would add in the hyperlink. Adding a video could be much the same. It's this film strip one. Again, you're going to browse and find a video that you have. I don't think I have a video. So when you found a video, you would upload that file, and in this, and insert the media. In this screen, all you're going to see is the text that shows up that says, let's say your video is called Bird in Grass Walking. That's all you're going to see is that text. But as soon as you save and display, you're going to be able to see the video itself. Okay, that takes care of the top row and down in here. The next few are aligning the text. I would like this paragraph. You can align it to the left, which means it stays on this side of the screen. You can have a center align, or you can right align the text. Okay. If you want it to indent, maybe you want it to be a subset of the one on top. You indent as many times as you want. If you don't like it, you put it back. The special symbols or equations might be a little trickier for you. This button here is an equation editor, and it's mostly used for mathematical equations or equations found in chemistry or physics classes. Chances are you won't use it, but this is what it looks like. You would create your equation in here, you would use the dividing sign, you would put in some Greek symbols, whatever you needed to do. It would show you what the equation looked like here, and once you would save it, your equation would show up just as you typed it. Using a special symbol, you need to put in a degree Celsius sign, or you want to use the greater than or less than sign. Oh, there we go. The half or a quarter of a fraction, you click on whatever character you want, and it puts it in right where your cursor was. If you don't like it there, you can cut it, and wherever you click on next, you can move it to that new location. There it is. Adding a table. The table sign symbol goes right here. Sometimes you want to organize your information, not all vertically, but you want to do it horizontally. So when you add a table in, you can type in your caption, sample table, right there, samples. You can tell it to define the headers, to put bold print on the top of the columns, or you can tell it to put it on the side of the rows, or you can tell it to have bold print in both of those. I'm just going to leave it as columns, and here you can change the number of rows or the number of columns that you want by using the arrows. Once you create that table, it just shows up on the left-hand side, and you can start typing into any box that shows up. So there's my title. If I start typing here in this top square, you'll see that the text shows up as bold because I had said it needed to be a header. If I type here in any of these ones, since I didn't specify that I wanted them to be headers, they're just going to show up as normal font. You can always go into any of these and make them bold, or change the size of the text, or put the highlighting in. It's really up to you. The one thing that you need to know about putting a table in is these dotted lines do not show up on the student view. You don't have any dividing lines in the table. If you want dividing lines, you might want to create a table in Microsoft Word and bring it in that way. Finally, the last thing we're going to look at is this button right here. The little triangular less than or equal than sign is how I think of them. This is the HTML code. So when you click on that, this shows you the different coding that all of the different formatting and different images and things that you've put in. For the most part, you don't need to be in here. I mean, look at all this. This is a different language. There is one area where if you are getting into video editing, you might need to come into the HTML code. That's what this button means. If you don't want to be in there, you just click that again. One more thing to look at. This button here takes the square, the editing view that you see, and pumps it up to full size for you. That's it. Once you've got everything that you want, you can save and display. And this will update your content so that your students can see. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I hope that you get in and you start playing around with some of the content and some of the options that they have available. So just a quick look at what the table actually looks like. Not that exciting, is it? Thank you for listening and watching. I hope that this helps. Check out my other help videos.